This story is about India's journey with its own homegrown helicopter, the HAL Dhruv Advanced Light Helicopter, and how it might soon need a big technological leap to stay relevant in the fast-changing world of aviation. The Dhruv began flying with India's armed forces in 2002, marking a proud step for the country's dream of making advanced aircraft on its own. It was designed to handle missions from the freezing heights of the Himalayas to the humid, salty air of the Andaman Islands. Over the years, it has served the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Coast Guard in many roles: rescue, transport, patrol, and even combat missions. But the Dhruv's long service history has not been perfect. Since it began operations, the fleet has suffered 23 crashes, some of them fatal, exposing mechanical issues such as control rod fatigue and engine problems. The situation became serious in early 2025, when a fatal crash led to all aircraft being grounded for safety checks. HAL, the company that builds the Dhruv, quickly took action. It replaced defective parts, carried out widespread retrofits, and by mid-2025 had received clearance from India's airworthiness authorities to fly again. Despite these challenges, the Dhruv continues to be used widely and remains a reliable helicopter for most missions. Meanwhile, HAL has tried to keep the Dhruv relevant with continuous upgrades. In February 2025, the Coast Guard received a new version called the Mk3, which came with advanced digital cockpits and better protection against corrosion for operations over the sea. HAL has also partnered with France's Safran to build a new generation of engines for India's next main helicopter project, the Indian multi-role helicopter. These new engines are more powerful, but they are still based on traditional technology. The lighter version of Dhruv, called the Light Utility Helicopter, is also ready for use in the mountains, but again it runs on conventional fuel engines. By 2040, many Dhruv helicopters will be nearing the end of their service life. India faces a shortage of more than 500 utility helicopters, and new ones will be needed. The military's long-term plan expects hundreds of new helicopters, but if HAL keeps using the same old engine technology, it could fall behind global players like Sikorsky and Airbus, who are already developing hybrid electric models. These hybrid helicopters mix traditional gas turbines with electric motors and batteries, offering many advantages: better fuel efficiency, quieter operations, and lower emissions. They also produce less heat, which helps them stay hidden from enemy sensors, making them useful in stealth missions. Hybrid technology is not just a concept anymore. Around the world, aerospace companies are investing heavily in it. Airbus's City Airbus Next General, for example, is expected to start operating by 2030 with dramatically lower carbon emissions. NASA, too, has been studying hybrid systems for years to solve technical issues like battery cooling and energy management. The global hybrid aircraft market, worth just a few $1 billion in 2024, is expected to explode to hundreds of billions by 2050, driven by both commercial and defense needs. For India, embracing hybrid electric helicopters fits perfectly with its vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliance with sustainability. Research centers under DRDO are already experimenting with electric propulsion systems, and HAL's partnership with Safran could extend into hybrid technology. A hybrid version of the Dhruv could carry more payload, stay in the air longer, and operate effectively even from remote bases where fuel is scarce. By the mid-2030s, as countries like China move toward their own hybrid military helicopters, India will need to match that pace. If HAL begins now, the next generation Dhruv 2.0 could take flight by 2035 and enter full service around 2040, marking another proud milestone in India's aviation story.